what should I do as a job seeker or just a career professional to position myself for ongoing career opportunities?
Mm-hmm. The biggest thing that I can recommend to anyone, whether you are in that miserable category or just starting to think about it, or even in good times and in bad, make a file or create a Google Doc or have a note on your phone or something anytime that you achieve something notable at work. Because what you want is to have content for that performance review or promotional opportunity within your company, or if you're looking outside of your company in an interview. You want to have that content, so keep a running file of what it is you're doing. And, I think that people get stuck sometimes thinking it has to be this monumental achievement before they could write it down or include it in their resume, what have you. And it doesn't have to be monumental, but it does need to be something that really helps you, shine, I guess, in future career conversations that you might have. People wait way too long to do that, or they've suddenly been in their job for a decade, and you ask them, what are your five marquee achievements, and it's really hard to review, rewind, go back and just say, well, I just did my job. I did it really well. I did my job. And so you have to really dig, and it's always harder to do after the fact. And if you can't remember to keep that running file, that Google Doc, the phone notes, then set an alert in your phone or on your calendar on maybe a quarterly basis, or even semi-annually, to list, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that you have accomplished, and then remember to quantify those things best you can. Now, sometimes you're in a role where you're in a more of a support role or repetitive tasks or something like that, and it's hard to quantify things, but you can always throw in numbers like the number of employees that you serve, or maybe the budget for a particular special project that you worked on, the numbers. That makes things a lot more interesting. So keep that running file. And then, as dovetailing on that, always have your resume and your LinkedIn profile updated. Because are you ready? If you get a call from somebody tomorrow, or either internally or externally, are you ready to present yourself either to a potential new employer or somebody internally? So make sure that you have those tools updated and ready to go for sure. And then also, how are you going to answer some of the real basic questions that someone might initially ask you? Tell me about yourself. Walk me through your resume. I'm sure that your team at Mulberry calls people all the time who maybe weren't expecting a phone call, and then they're scrambling. They're scrambling for these tools so that you can share them with your client company, and so make it easy for everybody. And there is no downside to having an updated resume, even if you're just delighted at work, because you aren't necessarily, if you're working for somebody else, you never know what business decisions might be made the next day, month, year.